Welcome back inside the Now Morning Show. Thank you so much for sticking around with us this morning. We're chatting about the Vacation Revision Program, which is happening from July 18th to August 12th. And to do that, I want to welcome the Chief Education Officer at the Ministry of Education, Dr. Peter Smith. Good morning to you, Dr. Smith.
Good morning to you and to your viewers.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now, the Ministry of Education would have announced that you're going to have a vacation revision program. But I just want to go back, for those who may have forgotten, what triggered this response?
Okay, if you may permit me, in March 2020, we would have gone into lockdown. So from March 2020 to March 2022, February, March 2022, many of our students who were preparing for the secondary entrance assessment were virtual. And when we looked at the results coming out of this year's examination, what we saw was a decrease in the scores in mathematics, English language arts, and English language arts writing. And the ministry felt that in order for our students to make the best use of that secondary education, there was a need to fill that gap, what we refer to as learning loss or learning poverty. And so the Vacation Revision Program 2022 was born as that initiative designed to assist our students.
So, I mean, basically, what I'm hearing you saying is that we can accept and we can admit that the pandemic had an impact on the education system in a severe manner. So even though we went online, we tried all these different things, there were still losses, there were still dropouts in the actual system because, I mean, the pandemic, right?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So now, in the Vacation Revision Program, it's targeted at those who would have just done SEA, or can all students access it?
We are targeting those who would have just done SEA and would have been placed at a secondary school. Now, in terms of the criteria, we are looking at those students who would have scored 50% or less. And if parents are to look on their performance report, where they have the composite standard score, they will see a score there. Once that score is less than 208.653, again, 208.653, the composite standard score weighted.
Right.
Those are the students that we are targeting at this point in time.
Okay, so for those of us who may not know, what does that score mean?
Right, so that score basically allows the ministry to place students based on the SEA results. It's a combined score that includes mathematics, English language arts, and English language arts writing.
Okay, so is this how we determine the top students as well?
Yes, that's the criteria.
Score.
Yes,
okay.
That's the criteria we use.
All right, so now, all right, if you have below 208.653 on your composite score, it's strongly suggested that you take this vacation program, or is it mandatory?
It's not mandatory, but we want to implore parents to really make use of this opportunity. And just to quickly explain, in many countries around the world, there are what we refer to as summer vacation programs designed to mitigate learning loss.
Right. Now, I mean, we've had those for decades in Trinidad and Tobago over the vacation period. I know as a child I would always end up in a summer camp that had academics involved in it, right? But what is different about this vacation program? Are we targeting, is it going to be held in schools? Is it going to be held at private facilities? How does it work? Right.
So we are targeting 33 secondary schools. That list has been sent out. Parents are aware of the list. It's 33 schools. We are looking at instruction in mathematics, English language arts, and English language arts writing. Apart from the academics, though, we have many fun activities for our students, because we just simply don't want it to be just about math and language.
Right.
There are fun activities. In addition, we have personnel from Student Support Services Division that will be providing that guidance. We are also opening up our schools to encourage our parents to come and get that needed support as their children transition to secondary school.
So those parents who are interested in sending their children, how can they register? How does it work?
Right. So once you go on the Ministry of Education website, you will see the links whereby you can register online. Failing that, there are our secondary schools, the 33 secondary schools, as well as the district offices.
Yeah.
And for those who are unable to access those facilities, we can call 622-2181 extension 2352.
2352, you
Yes.
say? All right. So we have the phone numbers, in case you missed it, 622-2181, extension 2352. You can call that number to get more information
Yes.
and to register to be a part of the vacation revision program, yeah?
Yes, you can.
Before we wrap, Dr. Smith, I'm wondering, are there particular schools that did exceptionally bad, like those 33 schools, for example? Is it that they did significantly less than they would have done before, or is it across the board, all schools across the board, all children across the board, the results was less than in previous years?
All schools across the board, the results were less than in previous years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the learning loss was across the board. So that even though you may get your first choice, there would still be the possibility of that learning loss or that learning poverty with those students. So it's across the board, really.
Before we wrap, what do you see as the long-term situations that will arise as of this for society?
Right. So if students don't make use of this opportunity, what happens is that, going back to the learning poverty, which means that students at 10 and 11 are unable to make sense of text. So when you transition to secondary school and you're now faced with math, language, chemistry, biology, it's going to be a challenge for you to really benefit from those subjects. And sometimes what may happen, you get frustrated, you may decide to stay away, chronic absenteeism can result, dropouts, and so your certification at Form 5 is in jeopardy, your future income earning is also in jeopardy. In fact, the World Bank and UNICEF, as well as UNESCO, has indicated that this generation will lose approximately $17 trillion in their lifetime. So there are implications.
Long-term implications.
Yes, definitely.
All right, Dr. Smith, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing this information with us. It's happening from the 18th of July to the 12th of August. Head across to the Ministry of Education's website. You can register. You can also call 622-2181, extension 2352 to get more information regarding the Vacation Revision Program. Thank you so much, Dr. Smith.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
We take a quick break and come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stay tuned.